Hey, Wastelanders. Shit. I already chipped it. These screws are not tight in here at all. So let's see if I can break this one open. Oh, this is pretty easy. All right. Okay. Oh, there. Don't want to lose that washer. I don't think there's any difference in the back spring, so I'm gonna try to use the same back spring. I'm just gonna, yeah, I think the blades are exactly the same cutout, just a different shape blade, or where the blade meets the spring, I think it's the same. Okay guys, I figured out how to do it easy. I took the back spring out, or well, the middle spring out, or middle post out of the spring, and once I got the blade in here this way, because it's down, I put that back in, and it's pretty easy. I was thinking I have to bend it, force it, but I didn't. So I hope I got the I hope I got that right. I hope I got it, the pin in the hole. Hi guys, I'm back. I wish I could show you this, but I ended up tightening the pivot. I took the middle spring, or the middle pin out, and let's tighten up the pivot. Why? So I put the knife back together. I put this handle this way, tighten the pivot. I left the back pin in, which was the screw barrel spacer sort of deal. But I took the middle pin out and I wrapped it basically this way, and I laid it flat on the table, and I adjusted a pair of vice grips that met this, the front end, or the bottom end, and the top end, and then I very carefully put these vice grips on there straight down, and I squeeze this until I had the pin in the hole, and until the pin just popped down and locked in place. So that's how I had to put it back together. It was a trial and error, and I don't think I ever, when I messed up earlier when I was trying to force it with a pair of pliers, and I scratched the back spring a little bit on here. But when I finally figured out how to put it back together by squeezing this in vice grips, I wish I would have thought of that earlier rather than trying to force it with a pair of pliers. Anyway, so I think it's back together, and I just have to like put the back screw in there and retighten the pivot. Oh, okay. Seems to be tighter if I work it from the back screw to the front, the pivot. So let me get this in here. Okay, seems to be locking up. I just have to move the pivot a little bit. Okay, yeah. So you can see where I scratched it. Just I got frustrated. Like I could probably polish that out. It's not a deep. It's just like a movement from this jaws unwrapped. You know. Anyway, I can polish that out, I'm sure. So let me see how it locks up. Let's see if it's straight. I'm pretty sure this is straight in there. Yeah, it's straight. This is how the cleaver type blade looks on the titanium. Yeah, this back spring's apparently the same size. I was worried about the back springs. I was thinking that maybe I had to change the back springs too, but what do you guys think? Does the cleaver type blade look better in the titanium scales rather than the brass scales? I like the titanium blade, and I like the brass, or the titanium handle and this blade. So I'm going to go with it. Yeah, sweet, and it doesn't interfere with the lanyard hold either. And if I advise you guys, if you are living in an apartment like me and you don't have a pair of or a vise, I would just pick up. Every toolbox should have some vise grips. Vice grips work for me. All right, so I'm going to do like what I told you I did on the first one. I'm going to lock the pivot in place at an angle, just so the knife holds together and doesn't the blade doesn't come apart on the spring. I don't do it extremely tight. I just want to hold this together with the spring, and I'll put the pin in there already. And okay, and then I put this cloth down. I know you can't see it, but you can kind of see it. You see? Okay, guys. Sorry, Kurt off camera again, but I had a fiddle with it, and I set the pin. the same method I was trying to show you. I ended up setting the pin, so, but I have to take it apart and go back from the back screw, the back post forward. Sorry guys, my arthritis is acting up on me, and my having trouble with my fingers right now. Okay guys, now the titanium blade is in here, the brass. Let's make sure it locks up. Pretty much centered. You probably can't tell, but trust me, it's centered. Okay. Not to make this a long video, it's any longer than it was, but now I did the blade swap. So you can indeed do a blade swap, but you have to use a vise or some vise grips to put back the back spine, the back pin in there. You got to squeeze it down, and then the pin will just drop in automatically. Yeah, I'll have to adjust the tightness on this. It's a little too tight. Let's see if I can loosen it up. Yeah, okay. Sweet. And if you didn't catch that, the screws or the bit skipped, and I scratched this black, which basically it's red on the outside, and they coated the black afterwards. I don't mind. This is a $17 knife, so anyway, take care, Wastelanders.